I had to find out how to take care of myself from my cousin.
I do that at home all the time with my mom and my dad.
Being a big guy certainly has its advantages.
You dogs get taxed.
God damn it. Hey.
That's what learning difficulties.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. We have a new background.
Yeah, I knocked it up in like 3 minutes.
Yeah, no. The best things are knocked up in 3 minutes. I mean, look at my beautiful baby boy. Anyways.
A whole 3 minutes? You stallion.
60 seconds?
It wasn't 60 seconds. No, 60 seconds without foreplay. Come on, Cass.
Yeah, 10 seconds without the cigarette. So, so yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dank After Dark, Season 5, Episode 3, because I'm terrible with my Thursdays, because sometimes I just get off and my brain hurts from looking at a screen and talking to people for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Indeed. This is Dan. He's too rude to introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Dan. I've been sat in this chair for about 4 hours already. I can no longer feel my ass.
Yes, doing production for the CW show. So yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So yes, we have a show. It was something I threw together.
We have a thing.
Yes, between my things, and I thought it would be fun to look at something we haven't really looked at before.
Okay, I can kind of see the thumbnail, but that's
indeed.
I'm curious now.
Indeed. So yes, and if you do want to support us, then you can just go to afterdark.zone/store. That's afterdark.zone/store. And if for any reason we get taken off the air on YouTube or Facebook, I don't know, if we get taken off the air off TikTok and Grindr, then you can join us at afterdark.zone/live.
Yes.
Yes.
Has it happened yet?
Or you can go to Dan's Only Dan's.
A couple of times, yeah.
I think a couple of times we've gone off, yeah.
Indeed. So if we go off, just go to that link. Save it to your favorites, or don't. Fuck you.
Well, we don't give a fuck.
Well, we kind of do. You know, I always find that people who say I don't care or I don't give a fuck are usually the people who do tend to give a lot of fuck.
Maybe a microscopic amount.
A smidge. I tend to be more. I tend to be more neutral on these things. Do I care? Maybe. I haven't decided.
You don't care. What you got first tonight, Phil?
All right. Well, tonight I thought I would look at the wacky world of mixed martial arts. Boy, do they have some great talkers there. And I've even went back to a couple of old favourites as well.
Ooh.
Yes, indeed. So predominantly looking at the UFC, although there may be some visits from Pride FC, Strike Force, K1, and K1 wasn't MMA; it was a kickboxing organization. I don't know if it still is, if it's still going or not. I've kind of fallen out the UFC loop over the last few years just because I've been very busy and haven't had a chance to watch. And I do recommend it. Good times. So, oh yes, very good, very good,
Very good.
indeed. So yeah, we'll be joined by Scott later. Maybe others. Anything can happen in the next hour and a half. But probably won't.
That things can get really shady.
Things could get really shady if he gets home in time.
Which he won't.
Yeah, which he won't.
That's the thing. We're gonna be like, the show's over. Fuck off, and we're just gonna hear, "Hey guys," and just click end stream.
Hey guys, bye, Shady.
No, you're not even gonna hear "Hey guys." You're gonna hear "Hey."
Yes.
Indeed. So yes. I haven't got an intro for the UFC thing because I didn't have the chance. So let's just use another one that doesn't make sense.
Good evening there, Cameranium.
Freedom! 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 Freedom!
Oh, I'm so glad you ended that early. That went on longer, everyone.
Yes, it goes on for a full 44 seconds.
Oh, fuck.
Boy, do I know how to choose the best songs.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So let's start off with a wonderful young gentleman called Chael Sonnen. I don't know if you're familiar with his work.
I'm not.
Aren't you? Chael Sonnen, former UFC middleweight. I believe he was... I don't know if he ever won the championship. He may have been an interim champion, but he stepped in and fought Anderson Silva, and he only was beaten in the 5th round out of 5 rounds by a submission. While Anderson Silva was walking over everyone, Chael Sonnen basically took 2 rounds from him, and he was the first guy to really do it. While Anderson Silva was on his years-long winning streak with the belt, and so he was.
When you say he stepped in, do you mean it was a replacement?
No. The plot was fine.
Right.
He was essentially, he came in, and people didn't really kind of pay much of attention. He was just another middleweight. But then he opened his mouth, and boy, if this guy isn't just a legitimate pro wrestler, he is great. Like some of the stories he tells and some of the things he says.
Are we about to see a promo?
Oh, this is the thing. This is just a lot of the best bits from him. And so we've got 3 videos worth of him just running his mouth. And imagine how pro wrestlers run their mouths on each other. And now imagine someone doing that in MMA, a legitimate sport. Not taking away anything from pro wrestlers. Obviously, they work hard, but legitimate in the way of results.
Yes.
Imagine how infuriating he is to the rest of the UFC middleweight division when he's tearing them a new one, and he's going by pro wrestling rules of not swearing.
All right.
Yeah. So here we go.
Chael, what exactly are you going to do to Cyborg? I mean, Bondelay at UFC 175.
I can tell you, I'm going to give him a beating. And
I like it.
the tougher he talks, the more he makes me think he's not going to show up. Every time he's humble, I think he gets closer to signing the contract. But, generally he grows in confidence when he's got numbers on his side.
So who do you want next?
I want an easy fight. Anderson Silva, Vanderlei
Yeah, I've
Silva.
seen this guy.
Either of the Silvas. Bigfoot Silva. They all suck. Give me a Silva.
From Rampage Jack.
Yes, indeed. He's
Yeah.
quite the contract.
I've seen clips all over Facebook and shit, but I never actually looked into who he was or anything like that.
Absolutely great middleweight fighter. Really entertaining. Comes from a wrestling background, so amateur wrestling. So he knows how to control it. And one of the smart things he said is you always got to, when you're facing a wrestler, always watch out for his hands. And when you're facing a boxer, always watch out for his grappling. So he's essentially kind of saying, watch for everything. Don't just stick to one discipline, because he's got quite heavy hands himself.
Yeah.
And he has turned around and said, I'll fight anyone from any division. And you've got to remember, he's right in the middle. Well, not anymore. He used to be when there was 5 divisions: heavyweight, light heavyweight, middleweight, welterweight, and lightweight. But now they've added, I think, flyweight, bantamweight, and others, because they've got the women's divisions as well. But yeah, this guy is definitely interesting. Here was an interview from, this guy. He's interviewed Vince McMahon, Hulk Hogan, a lot of other people. And now he's on there with Chael Sonnen.
Jackson, his mouth gets his ass in trouble.
That's amazing that you could hear Rampage all the way from the bowels of obscurity. Good for him.
John Jones.
Let me guess, that text message was greatly misspelled and you had to have it deciphered. So we'll assume that that's what Rampage meant.
So, yeah. Yes, him going at Rampage Jackson, who you may remember as B.A. Baracus from the A-Team movie. And you laugh at that, but he's a former Pride light heavyweight. No, I think it was a Pride middleweight champion, and he was a UFC light heavyweight champion. So Rampage Jackson is quite legit.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. This is the guy who, when Chuck Liddell went over to Japan, he was the guy who beat Chuck Liddell when Chuck Liddell was at his best. That was Rampage Jackson. And don't worry, we've got some of him for tonight.
Yeah.
He's fun as well. So, yes.
Why does he look like a skinny? He looked like a skinny Dean Ambrose John Moxley for a second there. When he first came on.
Well, obviously he's white, and as you know, all us honkies look alike.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look at Kaz. Look at Kaz, seriously, right now. Tell her she doesn't look like me.
Phil?
I know, right? Spooky.
How are you doing that?
Now look in the mirror.
Oh, no, wait there. No, she got her tits out. Doesn't matter.
I win.
I proved it.
Just the exception that proves the rule.
That's what Rampage meant.
Alani post-fight at UFC.
Errol, is that camera big enough to take in the largest arm in Westland, Oregon that has found its way to Houston, Texas? Because that thing looks a little bit small.
Yeah, I think it is.
All right, well, then we can continue.
We have been waiting.
He's just a gobshite. How can you not like the man?
Waiting 3 years until your fight. So what is your feeling now? Tell.
Hello, sweet potato. What was the question? I was a little distracted. What did you say?
My question was, what is your feeling now? Tell.
Pretty excited, as a matter of fact. But back to the fight.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah. He's a good egg.
A little distracted. What did you say?
My question was, what is your feeling now? Tell.
Pretty excited, as a matter of fact.
There's a new sound clip.
Oh, yeah. We're just going to have dueling Rambos.
Duel Rambos
versus Sonnen. The cucker. Anyway, back to the fight. I'll be right happy to.
Yes.
Oh god, that's a new project for me. I'm going to find Steve Rambo clips and then mix them with Chael Sonnen clips and see if I can turn it into a short story. Steve Rambo already written.
The funniest moment of Rampage for me was the season of the Ultimate Fighter where Kimbo Slice was Phil. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Oh god.
Was Kimbo Slice on the Ultimate Fighter?
He certainly was.
Was he?
Yes, he was. Because he was known as a street fighter. Then he had some fights in Strike Force, I believe. Who was it he faced in Strike Force that essentially closed the company down? Because there were talks of the promoters saying to Seth Petrelli, I think. And he said, the promoters said they'd pay me more if I kept the fight standing up. Because Kimbo Slice was supposed to fight Ken Shamrock, but he had to pull out due to injury. So Seth, is it Petrozelli or Petrucci? Stepped up at last minute and they offered to pay him more to keep the fight standing up. And he told this after he'd won the fight against Kimbo. So they wanted to keep standing up so he would lose because they wanted to make Kimbo their big deal guy. And he ended up biting him in the ass because Seth had some quite tasty hands. And he turned around and went, they said they'd pay me more to keep it standing up. At which point, Strikeforce went, "Ooh, shit, here comes a court case. Bye-bye now." So, I think UFC bought out Strikeforce, and that's when they were planning on starting their women's division. And they also took a lot of contracts over. So they had unification matches between the Strikeforce guys and the UFC guys. They did the same with Pride as well, because they bought out Pride FC, and they had Pride versus UFC champions facing off against each other.
Yeah.
And that's how Quentin Rampage Jackson won the UFC title.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the thing. UFC, a legitimate sport with legitimate results, has got, if you look at the stories being told, it is just pro wrestling, but you don't know which way it's going to go.
Yeah.
That's why I enjoy when I get the chance to watch, which has been quite a while.
And I would like to know why you always say bad things about our people and especially about our country.
Because
he's talking about Brazilians here. Yes.
I am attempting to pick a fight with some Brazilian fighters. Not fighters that care about you, Brazil. Fighters who have abandoned you. Fighters that claim they're from Brazil, like Vanderlei Silva, but he lives in a gated community in Las Vegas. He drives a Aston Martin. You guys even know what that is? That's what James Bond drove. It cost $200,000. Vanderlei could have bought a fully loaded Lexus, drove around in style for $41,000, sent $159,000 back to your country, built 2 schools, but he didn't. He didn't send you $159,000. He didn't send you $159. He didn't send you 159 cents. He left you, abandoned you, and now he lives in America. Have you heard the things I said?
Now, if you want to tear someone a new one, what did I tell you? He's a pro wrestler.
I mean, is he lying?
No. He hasn't. Imagine this guy in WWE.
It's possible. Anything's possible now with the merger, with the buyout.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Everyone says CM Punk has pipe bombs. Imagine him just walking around and just saying, "You couldn't last 2 fights in my fucking sport. I will eat you alive."
Left you, abandoned you, and now he lives in America. Have you heard the things I say about him? Those are fighting words. Those are fighting words from the time I was a kid in the 3rd grade to the time I'm a 30-year-old man right now. If somebody says that about you, you must fight him. And he ducked me for 6 years. Yushin Okami beat him, and he ducked him. Paulo Field beat him in practice, so he ducked him. Lyoto Machida beat him in practice, so he became good friends with him and won't fight him. These guys are phony, and so's your pound for pound list. What was your question? I'm going to...
It ends with, what was your question? So, any comments so far, Dan?
Just by me or by the viewers?
Just by you. What do you think of Chael?
Oh, I think this guy is what's he called again?
Chael Sonnen.
Chael Sonnen. I'm just gonna call him Chad.
He is Chad.
Yes, he is Chad.
Brazil, I will be there. We have a press conference there on Tuesday. So I'm trying to smooth things over with these guys, but I don't exactly know how, right? So I packed a suitcase full of gifts, full of things from America that they don't have. For example, I bought packets of soap for them. I brought shampoo.
So give you a gift.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Brilliant.
How to annoy an entire country.
That's fantastic. Does he not get fined or anything for this shit?
So no. That's it. He certainly does, but he prides himself on never using profanity as well. For some reason, he can say really awful shit, but never use the word shit.
Funnily enough, our Facebook user is Shady Sean McKenzie.
Ah, hello, good sir.
From Brazil, and I'll be glad if you accept this gift, okay?
Well, that's very nice. You guys brought a gift for me? That's wonderful, considering all the tremendous gifts that my country has given you. For example, the internet, which I heard you have.
This is not true. We have the internet in Brazil, especially.
You got it from America. You're welcome. You guys are welcome. We created that here. That was very nice of us.
No, this is not true.
You guys no longer have to tap on a log and like write letters into bottles and throw it into the ocean, right? Because that's what you used to do.
God.
And I brought them down.
He just has no chill, does he?
Nah, it doesn't give a fuck.
Shady's seen this and just straight away went, "Oh, I'm fucking in."
Where the fuck? Get my tray ready.
Fucking chill, people.
Dental floss, and speaking of dental floss and dentistry, it's very interesting. This is a true story. Did you know that the toothbrush was actually created in Brazil? Yeah, it's true. Had it been created in America or really anywhere else, it'd be called the teeth brush. But
maybe I could ask you a question. Maybe I could ask.
Oh, no.
It's an old joke, but it's just the fact that he stands there and goes, "True story." It's just like, okay, we'll acknowledge this.
He wouldn't lie to us.
No, Chelsonnen's the second coming of Jesus Christ. He'd never lie to us.
or else it'd be called the teeth brush. But
maybe I could ask a question. Maybe I could ask three of Michael Bisping. First, what you gonna do when you know who? How you gonna deal with the Man of Steel? And how will you react to Sonnen's attack? Tune in on the 28th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and we will find out who the real world champion is.
Now, this guy is just straight out of the NWA 70s and 80s. If he was in the NWA, he would have been the man of the hour, the man with the power.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Let's see what other wonderfully family-friendly things he has to say. Work.
Did you watch that fight? In what parallel universe can you punch a man 300 times? He wraps his legs around your head for 8 seconds and they declare him the winner. In my hometown, on the streets of Westland, Oregon, if you lay on your back with your legs wrapped around a man's head for 8 seconds, that does not make you a winner. That makes...
Yeah, look at that.
Not a winner.
Oh, I think that right.
Oh, fuck. He was thinking about what to say.
Yeah. That doesn't make you a winner. That makes you not a winner.
That makes you a... Well, I'm smoking right now.
Meh.
Not a winner. Oh, I think that right. Look, Tito's a drunk and he's a drug addict. And Tito's broke and he borrows those suits. I have no idea why they even invite him out here. I mean, that is as low class as it gets. You have to understand, Tito Ortiz will never get in there. Tito Ortiz sucks. He was high tonight. He was drinking tonight. He got booed tonight in his bar. So I couldn't give a damn less about Tito Ortiz. But I do think it's very low brow. You know, and he does it. He's going to behave like that. I'm on one side of the fence and he's on the other. It's like, Tito, man, you're messing with the wrong guy. I will come through here and whip your ass.
Yep.
Nice.
Tito Ortiz, old UFC legend and former enemy of Chuck Liddell. Yes, he doesn't care how much of a legend you are, how long you've been in the business. He'll just tear you a new one.
Silva!
Oh, chop it.
6 feet
Ooh.
tall and 205 pounds. Boy, until I met you, I didn't know they could stack crap that high.
Are you concerned that he won't take the fight?
Yeah, I don't expect him to take the fight. He's a coward. I truly don't expect him to take the fight. You know, this guy walks around, I want the biggest fights. Well, there's no bigger fight than our rematch, stupid. Well, I want the toughest guys. Well, God never made a tougher man than me, and my name hasn't come out of your mouth once.
Well, that's the thing. In this kind of sport, you've got to believe you are the best. And if
Yeah.
you don't believe it wholeheartedly, then you're wasting your time.
Yeah, I mean, other than the gloves, I mean, imagine this without the gloves, though. Back how it used to be.
What, without the gloves?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You have bare knuckle fighting for that. That's now
Yeah, but I mean, like, imagine, like, the revenue the companies would make on a scale like that with a crowd like that. And I don't mean backyard bare knuckle shit with a couple of hundred people.
No,
I mean
neither
hundreds
do
of
I.
thousands.
Bare knuckle fighting is going into it's a legitimate sport now. It's governed.
Where?
Well, in America, there's a company called Bare Knuckle Fights, and it isn't backyard. It's actually in places like this, and it's basically UFC with the gloves off.
I'm gonna have to watch some of their stuff later.
And what they do is, instead of wearing gloves, they just use the wraps.
What?
So instead of wearing gloves, they just use the wraps.
Ah, right.
But that's generally to protect from hand cuts and that kind of stuff, which is understandable. You kind of think a bit of padding, even if it's only like a couple of millimeters, at least you're doing something, or you're trying to do something.
Yeah.
Whoa, I will let you know when I'm done, Joe. I just got done with the world champion. If you think I won't add a middle-aged comedian just for the goddamn pleasure of it, you better think again. Like Silva, 3 months, you were the bad guy.
No, I don't do these camps either. I think these guys that go to camp, I think I think fighters say one thing and mean another thing. Like, hey, I go to camp and be in seclusion. I think that means, hey, my wife and kids are driving me nuts. I got to get out of town. I go to practice every day.
Vanderlei's going to go 22 straight wins in Japan, and he can't win 2 straight in America. Mirko Cro Cop's going to win all those fights in Japan. He can't beat anybody in America. Fedor's going to win all those fights in Japan, and he's 3-2 in America. And one of those wins is over a guy that was flipping tires at Sam's Club the month before.
How about Brazil?
Do you know the name of Fedor?
What?
Do you know the name of Fedor?
No.
Fedor Emelianenko, known as the Last Emperor, a Russian mixed martial artist who over in Japan had an undefeated record.
Oh, what was the record?
Big. But came over to America. And the thing is, he did have wins. He beat former UFC world heavyweight champion Andrei Arlovsky. And the thing is, the way he does the stare downs, in fact, I'll just bring this up for a sec. The way he does the stare, usually in boxing, you kind of got this kind of stare down like this with the referee walking. He used to just kind of stand there, look at the referee, and just nod. Very polite man. And then just as they were walking out, he just looked at his opponent and backed off. And it's one of the most intimidating fucking things you've ever seen. And you'll see like opponents kind of going against him, but he has one punch knockout power. So Andrei Arlovsky was kind of throwing hands, combos, whatever, and Fedor's blocking and moving and being careful, and then just fucking wham! Former UFC world heavyweight champion on his ass with the referee going, he's had enough.
Oh, Phil, did you know it's not about you? It's not about them. It's about Smee. And here comes the man himself.
It's about who?
Smee.
Different show.
I don't care. Smee is for everything now. We rule the world. Here he is.
Hello there, Shadington.
I know who Fedor Emelianenko is.
Yeah, exactly. The Last Emperor. I knew you'd be in on this because as soon as you kind of went on my way, because you went, oh, it's a fucking MMA episode. I'm in.
Chael Sonnen is fucking epic, man. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
I think you're right, man. Like he belongs back in the '80s in the NWA era. Damn, he's just that kind of shit talker. You know what I mean?
Could you imagine him working against someone like Magnum TA?
Oh, that'd be fucking great.
Exactly. Magnum TA doesn't have the talk that Chael Sonnen does, but he would kind of back it up with it in the ring. And it'd just
I did like watching Chael Sonnen get his ass whooped though. Every time he got his ass whooped.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I mean, he had some great outings though as well.
He's great. He's a great entertainer. I mean, like he knows how to put the spotlight on himself. You know.
Yeah. He's definitely entertaining. I mean, the fact that he refers to himself as a gangster as well, it's just fucking amazing. I am.
It's like everything he does is like totally opposite of what he's saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you either believe it or you don't. Like if you believe this, you're a dumbass.
Yeah. But he loves playing up to the role. So yes, more Mr. Sonnen.
I mean, I give you credit. I mean, dude got up in there and fights. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, like. I ain't doing that shit.
I mean, the fact that CM Punk went in there twice, he got the shit beat out of him, but he went in there.
Yeah.
That you have to look at and go, fair enough. Forget wins and losses. The fact that he was just going into something that well, let's be honest. With the time he'd spent and the experience he had, he didn't really have. He shouldn't have been in the UFC for that. He should have started lower leagues and built his way up. But for him to go,
you're not going to see too many of these guys on Facebook talking smack before their fight. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just going to come out to the ring and whoop your fucking ass.
Yeah, they're just going to kick the shit out of you. So yes, more Chael.
Still, wouldn't that be something? I think they could do 100,000 seat stadium. You versus Anderson Brazil. Does that even interest you?
No, that does. That really does. And if they sell 100,000 tickets, I hope they collect them all. I hope they put them in a nice ball, turn them sideways, and shove them straight up their ass. That's what they can do with the Brazilian crowd. We're going to Las Vegas. The Japanese.
Yes, he just quoted The Rock.
Yep.
Oh, well, the no contest. Was that one of the fights where afterwards there was like steroids or something discovered? I'm guessing that might have happened. I need to pay more attention. I really do.
I mean, I didn't pay that much attention to CM Punk's fighting career. So.
Nah, didn't he only have like 3 or 4 matches?
And speaking of attention, we have ourselves.
Hey!
Indeed. We're doing Punchy Men today.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. So yes, enjoy the Punchy Man jail song.
I've been watching.
So have you had any real kind of experience in seeing Chael Sonnen there, Scott? Great answer.
I think I've seen him once or twice. I haven't gotten to see him a whole lot.
All right.
He was a coach one season on the Ultimate Fighter show.
I feel like I've seen him more on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's definitely worth checking out. He still does. I think he's got a YouTube channel where he gives his views on different fights. He gave a great view on Tyson Fury versus Francis. Yeah.
Ngannou.
Yeah.
Ugwa.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up with them.
He basically said they've just proved boxing is fake. And his justification was Tyson Fury should have absolutely destroyed him. But Francis went in there, showed him he was a legit contender in his debut fight. And he looked like he had enough points to beat Tyson Fury. But they still gave the win to Tyson Fury. So he's essentially said, no, it's a joke. He goes, and I'm not saying this because I'm an MMA guy and he's an MMA guy. He goes, I've met Francis. I can't stand the man. But
yeah, it honestly, the reason, like, it's not that I can't take boxing seriously nowadays. It's just I've noticed something about it that the last couple of times there's been a big match, like Tyson Fury, the last couple of big fights that he's been in, guaranteed the next day, all I'm going to hear out of anybody who watched it is, man, there's no way Tyson Fury actually won that match. It was rigged. It was set up. Yep. Something happened. There's no way he won it. But okay, I don't know what else to tell you. Like
that's the
y'all talking about wrestling fans, right?
Exactly. I look at it.
Holyfield ruined boxing for me.
Yeah, I look at boxing now and I just kind of go, I can't take it seriously. Just with the amount of corruption that's going on, you can tell there's a lot of backhanded deals. And you just look at fights like that and go, come on, what are you fucking thinking? It's an absolute joke.
Well,
and
like,
this is what MMA is seen as, at this point, in my eyes anyway, more legitimate than boxing, because I think boxing's really lost its credibility.
Well,
I
yeah,
would
like, I
somewhat
remember
agree with that.
when I grew up on boxing, it was, during the Tyson era when he was the big thing. And I remember, like, my grandfather it's not that he hated Tyson as a person. He was like, I legitimately want to see somebody come in that's good enough to take this guy down.
Yeah.
And, when it did happen and it was the fight with Buster Douglas, he was just like, I was really upset by that. I really don't feel like Tyson should have lost that. That was ridiculous.
Tyson was high that day.
Yeah.
It's like one of the first times Tyson got high.
Yeah. Thanks, Don King, and your cocaine, you prick.
And that,
I mean, that's what pissed me off about the Holyfield fight was the amount of money I spent on it, for the pay-per-view. And we got what we got. It's like, are you fucking real? Like, seriously? I get it. Half an year?
Well, yeah,
no. That's it.
I remember sitting at work, and it was such a big deal that like one of my supervisors pulled his phone out, set it up, and we watched the Pacquiao Holyfield fight. And what was it? Pacquiao. Is it Holyfield or like the number one boxer in the world?
De La Hoya. So was it Pacquiao De La Hoya or no Mayweather?
Mayweather.
Yeah, it was a Pacquiao Mayweather fight. That was it. Thank you. And I remember watching it, and like, it was a good fight, but it was 95% Pacquiao just wailing on him, and the other 5% was him just, ducking and
that
covering.
fight
He
didn't
got
go
some
the way I
shots and
thought it was
everything.
going to go either.
It was this little angry Mexican tearing his ass up.
Yeah, and I bet
And he
Mayweather
still
still
won.
won that one.
Yeah, I feel like they were both holding back in that fight.
Yeah, but
Like
probably
they knew they both wanted to survive and just put on a show because of how much money had already been pulled in.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of big time athletes in fight situations, when that situation happens, I think that kind of gets to some of them. You know what I mean? Like,
it just shows that they're not hungry.
They feel like their money's already made, kind of like Conor McGregor. You know?
They're not hungry, therefore not deserving. They shouldn't be in that position anymore, because if they're not willing to fight for it and they're just willing to kind of tap for it, like tap gloves, and then get them the fuck out of here. Put them in there against someone who wants to rip their head off.
That's not what people pay money to go see. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They pay money to see people, like when it started back in the day when motherfuckers were getting waylaid on each other. Of course, weight classes weren't involved back then, so you had 350-pound guys versus 160-pound guys. So I mean, there were some crazy fights if you go back in the beginning of MMA fights.
Oh, yeah, because now you got some people that only have to fight once or twice a year, and they've got fuck you money. They just don't know what to do with fuck you money.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to boxing, did you know that without boxing, you would have no Royal Rumble? Because back in the early 20th century, they used to have Royal Rumble type of matches in boxing, where they would get 10 to 20 fighters in the ring. They would try and throw each other over the top rope, and the last two actually had to have a boxing match afterwards.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So boxing actually invented.
I feel like you're trying to Kel Sonnen me right now.
No. It's a true story. I saw the Nogueira brothers, and I'll tell you right now. I was walking past David Jones. He just had a line of women. He slapped him around the back of the head, and so. Carried on, and there was Negan Al Ghul talking to an 8-year-old. True story. And so I thought, well, I'm going to go grab some cigarettes. So I went in the store, and Hella and Dad said she'd blow me for a pack of smoke. At which point I just went, no. So I left the store, and there I saw. I can't remember. It was that true of a story. I've forgotten most of it.
I've lost so many of the details.
Exactly. It's all a blur. Those days aren't as vivid as they used to be.
It was all a dream.
It was all a coma dream, and that's how we ended the series in the 1980s. Back to more Chael.
Japanese circuit is fake. It's always been fake. None of those guys won ththose fights. They never won those fights. Vanderlei Silva, 22-0. Mirko Cro Cop, one leg cemetery, one leg, whatever. Well, what happened, Mirko? What happened to your legs? Nothing happened. The referee's not wearing an earpiece. The promoter didn't come in the back and tell your opponent when to go down. That's what happened. I lost my motivation. No, you didn't. You suck. You suck just like Fedor sucks. You suck just like Vanderlei sucks. Big difference when that referee's real, isn't it, Arrow?
Point.
I think Scott's just found his new favorite mixed martial artist.
I love this guy so much.
Like we were saying before, we were just suggesting that he would fit in perfect to like the late 70s, early 80s NWA.
Yeah, I heard you say that earlier, and I agree wholeheartedly.
Would have been fantastic. There's him next to Ronda Rousey. Big grin on her face. Oh, she's sitting next to a real man right there. Only thing he's missing is a magnet.
I'm sure a bit of editing can sort that out.
Oh, certainly. Let's make you.
This is the 2050 WWE class, of Hall of Fame class.
Oh, it really is.
Oh my God.
Rivalry with Vanderlei really start for you? What was the moment that set it off?
Man, it started out of jealousy. I would sit at home scratching and clawing to make it. I'm fighting at the dog park. I'm fighting anywhere I can get a chance, and I'm watching this knucklehead coming out of Japan wearing this belt, and I'm going, "Oh, kick that guy's ass." That guy never would have been champion if I would have been in Pride, and I couldn't get my opportunity. They say that you should always study your opponent. You should know what he's thinking. I know what he's thinking. I know what he's thinking right now. He's sitting there asking himself, "Is there a number higher than 11?"
You're looking at the
10.
He is just fucking great.
Oh God.
It's like he takes the most unabrasive things and makes it abrasive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I say, he never swears. He prides himself on never using profanity.
Right.
And the guy's
It's like the toothbrush joke. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly. The guy's very intelligent. He's very insightful, and that's what makes him interesting. As well as being a great entertainer, you can look at what he's saying and go, "It's very hard to argue this."
He's one of the very few. Well, I won't say very few because I mean a lot of them, but one of the few MMA fighters back that started that knew how to self-promote themselves.
Exactly.
It's very hard to do. Like most of them have promoters and stuff that do all that. Some of them just sit back and don't say shit at these things. Like Ronda Rousey, just smiling.
But that's the thing. If you look at Chael Sonnen, the history really goes back from Chael Sonnen. Before that, The Rock. Before that, Muhammad Ali. Before that, Gorgeous George. So wrestling fight sports have been constantly going. So it's wrestling, boxing, wrestling, MMA. But they all have that same kind of style of how to be the heel. I mean, Muhammad Ali was never always loved. There were times where he was hated.
Yeah.
And, it's the best guys like
Depending
this.
on what town he was in.
Yeah. Essentially, if you look at like Chael Sonnen and like Muhammad Ali and Gorgeous George, the thing they have in common is not only are they disliked by people, they're funny with it.
Brilliant.
Exactly. It's smart. And I think that was the one thing missing from DX when they turned heel, because they went all serious. And imagine how much more money DX would have made if they were working heel, but being funny with it.
Well, yeah, DX was that weird anomaly that, like, they should have been better as heels, but they were better as faces because they did more of the comedy.
That's because they were kind of forced into a position that they weren't really wanting to head in,
Yeah.
I mean, they were trying to go one way, and then they were pretty much grabbed and pushed in this direction.
Yeah, I'd say the last talker who I really remember for having that arrogance and that humor. I mean, I look at the modern era and go, well, they're funny in different ways, but they're also very good in the ring. But no one really caught my attention more in like the last 10 to 15 years in wrestling as Mr. Kennedy.
I love Mr.
Every time you saw that man, whether you loved him or hated him, he was nothing but entertaining every single time.
No.
It still stands out to me when he was in TNA and they were doing the whole Immortal storyline. And it's like they just kind of let him cut loose on one of the promos, and he's up in Hulk Hogan's face yelling about, like, every last one of these guys in the back just swinging off your nuts.
Yeah, he's probably one of my second favorite wrestler other than Sting. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and that's the thing. One of the promos I remember from him, we'll get back to Chael in a second, but it was a backstage thing with Booker T. And I think he was talking about a match they were going to have. And he just kind of ended the promo with, winner! And then he walked off. And Booker T turns around to talk to Charmel. And then suddenly Kennedy's face comes back on camera about this far away from the camera and this close to Booker T's face. And he just points at him and goes, loser! And then walks off. It's just so unnecessary, but it's perfect. And I think this is what Chael Sonnen does very well because he can.
He's probably one of the most injury-prone wrestlers ever. But
oh god, yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's still the entertainment factor.
Oh yeah, like I said, I loved him. I thought he was the next Rock, man. I mean, he had that kind of potential, if you ask me.
Oh god, yeah.
I think that's what made Mr. Kennedy kind of stand out was the fact that he was entertaining, but he was such an annoying asshole.
Yes. That's why he was so good.
Shady might have some of that in him, you know, maybe just a little.
Indeed.
Oh, so nice fans demand I say it twice. Yeah. That
I'll
comes
go back
from
and watch
Kennedy
some of
saying his
my
name
promos when I
twice.
was drunk.
Yeah.
Indeed. Right. Back to Chael.
Yeah. You're looking at the reflection of perfection, the one that gets all your attention. You're looking at the man with the biggest arms, the man with the greatest charm, and the man in Chicago to do a lot of harm to a guy 3 doors down.
Yep.
Yep.
Why?
NWA.
Why did WWE sign Ronda Rousey and not him?
The answer would be reasons. Because she won a championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Oh, you need to know what the fuck about, motherfucker. You need to know, motherfucker. Your time's gonna come, motherfucker. You talking about the wrong guy, motherfucker. Okay? Come to my face, motherfucker. You're gonna see what's gonna happen. Come in here.
Yep, that was Wanderlei Silva.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wanderlei Silva did not like Chael Sonnen. Very, very angry man. But you got to say, Chael at first for a second was like, what? And then he kind of realized what was going on. He was like, right, motherfucker, and didn't care.
But it's smart from a fight standpoint because you're getting your opponent off their game. You know what I mean? Like they're changing their whole game plan. They're in their emotions. They're in their feelings, and they're coming at you like they would never come at you before. You know,
Oh, indeed.
that's kind of what you want. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a smart strategy. Like, you make them so mad they can't see straight, and then you just take advantage of it.
Exactly.
I think it's a good technique that can be learned in our little hobby.
With a smile on his face.
And you know, yeah, it's just fun. He's got a little cheruby face right there. You know, he's going to tear someone apart.
Like,
Yeah,
here it comes.
That's your dick.
I like to think I do a bit of that in our little hobby. You know, I like to poke the bear a little. I think I might make myself a little more abrasive and a bit more Sonnen-like after seeing this.
Sometimes that's
Just
what it
running
takes,
in the
man.
background thinking, "Oh God, Phil's going to get worse."
You don't get tough skin by damn not working. You know, so.
Oh no, indeed. What, you mean he's coming back to E-Fed? Oh no, I'm terrified. Oh shit, it's a fat farmer screaming about anime. Why am I worried? Sorry, Dan.
Calm down, Phil.
Everyone else is laughing, and Dan's like, "Oh, how am I going to explain this?" It's easy to explain, Dan. Just turn around and go, "Phil doesn't like you." Next time I see him, I'm going to combine harvest his arse. So,
Harvesters of
And that's real talk, dude. Like, don't get me wrong. Dana keeps
You're gonna see what's gonna happen.
Yes.
Come in here.
time you won was against Bisping. And that's real talk, dude. Like, don't get me wrong. Dana keeps you around because you're a Fox commentator. Real talk. Because you can sell tickets. Because that's Dana's job. But Oklahoma, Daniel Cormier, Johnny Hendricks, Mark Munoz will be fighting tonight. Mola Wall, we're all from Oklahoma. The man that's running this tournament back here, Jack Roller, Oklahoma.
Spit it out, brother. You're putting everybody to sleep, man. I'm about to come down there and whip your ass in a second. Just to get people real talk, stupid. Speak English. I don't speak ghetto. I don't even know about talking. Here's real talk, dummy. If you don't get to the end of the line, I'm going to come down there and war up on you before I take care of LeBron later tonight. So take those stupid sidelines off your head because when it's your turn,
don't sell memberships.
You don't sell anything, stupid.
I sell
you
ass
don't do
whippings. I don't sell
anything.
memberships.
You
It's
sell
different.
ass whippings? What is your name again? Who are you?
Bill Small
All I've
website.
heard is you're from Oklahoma.
Bill
Those guys
Small
are from
website.
Oklahoma State. Every name that you just dropped, let me hand them back to you because they're not
Bill
from
Small
where you
website.
said they're some. Stupid.
Stupid. Stupid.
Stupid.
It's like Kurt Angle's evil twin.
It truly is just
Like the only
magic.
thing that's missing is a mustache or something.
Can
But
you
it's like
imagine
Kurt
them as a
Angle's
tag
evil twin.
team? That'd be fucking
He didn't
great.
lose his hair in that match against Edge.
Yeah, it's an alternate universe Kurt Angle.
Exactly.
It's an evil variant.
Kids are calling me Stephanie Boner.
I think you're gonna need one of these, Stephanie. Or I mean, Stefan.
That's another great loser too.
Listen, I think
But Stephen Bonner, what a great sport.
I mean, yeah. Thanks for putting Forrest Griffin on the map for a year.
Yeah. That was a hell of a fight. Forrest Griffin, Stephen
It
Bonner.
really was. It's like the best Ultimate Fighter season fight ever, man. Like this
Exactly.
first one. So
Yeah. Also, rest in peace, Stephen Bonner.
what? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Stephen Bonner. I'm sure he's passed away.
Damn.
Stephen.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
He wasn't that
Stephen
old.
Bonner.
I
Stephen
think he was
Bonner
young.
died
He
in,
was younger
last
than me.
year. Yeah. So passed away at 45 years old. Poor bloke.
Oh, so yeah, he's a year older than I am.
Yeah. So R.I.P. Stephen Bonner. And the fact that he's having Stephen Bonner was light heavyweight as well, so he's like the division higher than Chael in the weight class. But the fact he's quite willing to make himself look silly for the cameras kind of shows a level of
He's having a laugh.
Yeah, he's having a laugh. He's not taking himself seriously. He's just a likable bloke. Or R.I.P.
I mean, like, look at
I
that.
think I can help.
Yeah.
When you are having the shit kicked out of you for your occupation, you've got to find fucking things to laugh at every other day.
Well, yeah.
Got it.
Exactly. Like, you kind of get like some boxers who kind of do the tough man gimmick, and it gets a bit ridiculous. So to have someone who can just point and laugh and make fun of themselves, it's endearing.
Help you. It's this simple. You're supposed to be the American Psycho. Be a psycho. Be the master of psycho. Be the sensei of psycho. You need to be willing to take on an entire country, a third world country at that. Let me ask you a question. Who's the champion of your division? Wrong. You're the champion.
Be able to fight all those starving children.
I whipped Anderson. He still runs around and tells people he's the champion. You think he cares?
Guess not.
Exactly. You tell John Jones you're coming over, you're kicking his door, and you're patting his old lady on the ass, and she better have a turkey pot pie ready for you. Am I talking?
Damn.
Where's my pot pie, bitch?
Yeah. Just pat her on the ass.
We've gone past the sandwich, ladies.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, it's a full meal. Chael don't do sandwiches. Take your feminism and shove it.
The Stefan or Stephanie?
I do.
That's right. Now, who's the champ?
I'm the champ.
Are you the American Psycho or an American Idiot?
I'm the champ.
Who's the champ?
I'm the champ.
Who's the champ?
I'm the American Psycho Stephen Bonner, light heavyweight champion of the world. Ah!
All right,
Oh, there you go.
I'll be down.
Yeah, indeed. Absolute fucking legend. We got more Chael Sonnen, but I think first we should try something a little different. What do you guys think?
Go for it.
All right, then. Well, let me just go off ski and away ski.
I'm getting lost in the portal, man. I feel like Rick and Morty right now.
Oodly-doo. Let's get back to the north size. And yes, let me load up the next piece. Now, do you remember Shady as a fellow UFC fan years ago? Do you remember a guy called Nate Quarry?
Nate, yeah.
Yes. And do you remember he had a fight against another gentleman called Caleb Starnes?
I don't recognize the second name.
Well, I think you might remember the result because it was very well documented. So we're going to watch the last minute. Essentially, Caleb Starnes had been running around the cage the entire fight, backing away from Nate Quarry. And Nate... Let me just...
I'll be quiet.
Tell us without telling us details, tell us your thoughts and your emotions on just thinking about what's about to happen.
You're gonna laugh. It's not something you see in every MMA fight. I'll tell you that much. You know, but it is what it is.
It makes me so happy to kind of go. Once I reminded him, he was like, "Oh, this one."
Has to know that
It's
he's
probably-
down on the
it's probably why the guy
judges'
didn't
cards.
last too long.
He needs to do something major. Throw a big overhand right, something.
Look
What
at
I'll
the
do-
way that he moves now. Watch.
Just turn this down so we can talk over it.
Almost like he's moving with a limp.
Look at it. Caleb Starnes, the guy in the white, constantly backing off.
See that? See, you can get a good
Yeah.
look at it.
Last minute of the last round.
He pretty much did this almost the entire fight
There it
too.
is again. That hurt him. That hurt him. Corey's got to finish
Nope.
him right here.
30 seconds remains
So-
in the fight.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He's calling him the running man.
I don't think we need to translate what that
I
meant.
know exactly
Oh,
what that
but there's more.
Can't come into the octagon and use the marathon technique.
I thought he was doing the running man.
Well,
Personally,
that would be
I don't
the
know.
marathon technique. You get it? Marathon, you run. Okay. I can go slower if you want.
Corey
Joe Rogan would have got that. Wow.
And the dude's still backing up. All right, that's what's fucking hilarious.
He's still backing up.
The ref's like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, he just looks at the crowd and goes, "I know, I'm disappointed too."
Like, if I don't win this fight, I don't know what the fuck just happened.
Oh yeah, as you can see,
The fact
Caleb
that he
Starnes-
pulled the Fresh Prince of Bel Air move, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh bitch.
God. Let's go back to this wonderfulness.
I thought he was doing the running man. Personally, I don't know.
So I say it's not something you normally see in a MMA fight at all. The fact that he kept backing up, man, is what makes it fucking priceless.
Yeah, like okay, I really
even
hope
the
he
ref's
went
like,
home.
just stop, dude. You know what I'm saying? He's like,
I
you
really
know,
hope you just went home after this and told your girlfriend, like, I think I'm done. I just
Nate Quarry was a tough little dude, man.
Well, allow me to explain the maneuvers he pulled in that fight. The first one, obviously, being the running man, aimed at what he was referring to Caleb Starnes as, because he is the running man because he's running away from the fight. The second one, you'll enjoy. He called it the spastic punch.
I call it the coffin dance.
Yeah, and the thing is, the thing that makes this even worse is that this was in Caleb Starnes' hometown. So people were booing Nate Quarry for not being the hometown guy. Now, you want to talk about people who can talk and get people on his side? Nate Quarry was hated for not being from there, but shall we see how he turns the crowd and how much they support him?
Okay.
And,
Yes, please.
just hearing Shady laughing in the background, he knows what's coming. So we're just gonna go into this a bit more, see what the commentators have to say.
Everything possible to make that fight an exciting fight. Unbelievable. He's changed incredibly since his last fight, let alone the Ultimate Fighter.
Well, I think he told us the same thing that you told us.
Yes.
Not supposed to run or just be in a defensive mode, but Starnes was. And in all fairness to Caleb Starnes, very uncharacteristically he was.
There it is, Corey once again with those
beautiful
vicious
kick.
leg kicks. I mean, he brought it. Listen to the crowd.
Yes.
The Canadian crowd is cheering for this guy, and he deserves it. Unbelievable.
Yeah, they love that. They're running. Now, see, now Starnes is ticked off. Now Starnes won't shake his hand.
Oh.
Oh, boo fucking who?
Caleb Starnes just angry. You're disrespecting me.
It's like, yeah, no shit.
Caleb Starnes impressed.
You disrespected me for 3 fucking rounds.
Exactly, yeah.
Characteristics of Nate Quarry.
Just whenever the camera's on him, they're just booing him. And after this fight, he was indeed fired from the UFC.
That's what I'm saying. I don't remember his career lasted too long.
No, he was fired from the UFC, and whenever he took up small fights, they made his nickname the Running Man. It followed him around for the rest of his career.
Oh, gotta love it, man.
Oh, it's just great fun.
Starnes is getting booed like Marcus Naslin of the Vancouver Canucks would.
Yeah.
Here's
Fuck you.
If he had just scored a hat trick against
Where were you?
the Montreal Canadiens.
Yes. Paying your salary, sir.
By Starnes, he's 15 minutes too late.
You can hear when the camera changes. It's fantastic. If you listen to this again, just listen to the crowd.
If he had just scored a hat trick against Les Habitants, the Montreal Canadiens. But if there's something to be said by Starnes, he's 15.
Now, just, ooh, yeah.
It's just fucking brilliance.
It's just the crowd are just brutal to Caleb, and his own reaction is, "Fuck you! Fuck! Why aren't you in here? Why aren't you in here?"
Can you imagine being Nate Quarry in that moment though? You know what I'm saying? Like you've ran around the fucking this cage for 3 rounds. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, enough is enough, man. Like you gonna fight or what?
Exactly. It's an absolute joke. So obviously we go to the decisions, and let's see who gets their hand raised. Any takers?
Boy, I wonder. Judging by the referee's face.
I think the referee's hand is going to get raised.
Oh. the hope that kid has right now, you know, he's like, I think I might have a chance.
I think I showed good defense.
And the rest, that's what I'm saying. The rest looking at him like, "No, dude, like, are you for real?"
No, kid.
He's thinking
to himself.
I'm
right there by the doorway is like looking at the kid's parents. Like, no, if you go now, you can beat traffic.
Yeah. You know, I think I might win this. What's this all about? Hey.
I don't think Dana White could get rid of that guy faster. You know.
Oh God! If I could find the video, because you know they do a press conference after every UFC event. I wanted to find Dana White's remarks because, as you know, he's very honest in his views. So I think I remember something about the press conference before, and I believe the words "you'll never see him here again" were used.
Because at that time, Dana White was, he was really all up he was really trying to match up, you know, the big fights, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
He really wanted the, you know, the guys really going up against each other, which, I mean, of course, you know, you want that all the time, but I feel like he was pushing it more at that point in time.
I'm just wondering, has anyone else realized that if you look at his face and if you look closely, it looks like they based the sad face emoji on him. Yes. The face Negan makes when he finds out she's over 18. Ladies and gentlemen, Dylan James's US debut.
Every time I look at it, all I see is the referee just like this motherfucker right here.
Do you know what that face says to me right now? I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I'll do better tomorrow.
Yeah. But I will. So let's see how this result turns out.
Some great skills here this evening. As undoubtedly we are about to have the official announcement from Bruce Buffer.
No, knowing when the red light is on you.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, oh, you don't need to look at the light. Why? Well, the crowd will tell you. Big fucking cheesy.
You look over at Caleb, and everything going through his mind is like, well, I'm fired. I'm single. My family's probably disowned me by now.
Nate's thinking, I'm about to get drunk.
Yeah. And then the camera pans over, and you've got a guy just looking into it going, I'm going to Disneyland.
Yeah, it pans over, and the dude that just won that's obviously won the fight is just like, I'm going to fuck every hot chick in this dude's hometown.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to get so much tang.
Girl, your girlfriend's coming with me tonight.
I'm going to do her with my pecker. Yes, I am.
That lady's got a pecker.
Decision victory.
I'm going to love this.
The Montreal crowd reacting to the man who's on the big screen. Now it's Starnes with booze. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. Doug Crosby scores the contest 30-26. Nelson Hamilton has it 30-27. And Pasquale Procopio scores it 30-24 for the winner.
Wow.
And Le Gagnant, Nathan Rock Quarry.
The last score was probably the most accurate.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Such a different.
I don't even know how he got a 27 from the second judge, but
I am Rock Quarry. Just the joke. But now we get into the best bit, because this is the point where Joe Rogan jumps in the cage with him to do his interview. The post-fight interview with Joe Rogan. So, yeah.
Fucking Joe Rogan's the best.
24 that we've had in UFC history. That is as unanimous as it comes.
Oh, no, it's not Joe.
How did you go from getting punched?
It's
that one's that's that
Kenny
one
Florian.
fighter.
Kenny Florian.
Florian.
Yeah, Kenny Florian. From a welterweight or lightweight?
He wasn't he in the first UFC Ultimate Fighter thing?
I think he might have been. He was in the first one, yeah.
The first one or the second? I can't remember. He was in one of the first. Yeah.
The first one was Forrest Griffin versus Stephen Bonner. He might have been the second because he was quite popular.
Yeah.
In the face to having this job because I want that job.
Nate Quarry, you won over this amazing crowd here in Montreal. Did you think it would turn into a road race like it did? I mean, you did everything possible to push this fight. How frustrated were you out there?
Well, no disrespect to Caleb. It's tough when you come out here to fight. I know a few times I've been hit to get the hell out of there. So I didn't mean to disrespect him or his camp. He's a great guy. I came to fight. It's tough to land a shot when somebody's moving backwards on you. So I did the best I could. I apologize for not getting the finish.
Well,
very well
I
said.
don't think this crowd is falling.
Exactly. Still humble in victory. Yeah, I'm sorry he ran away.
Your last words.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wilson Fisk's new catch line.
I'm sorry he ran away.
Yeah. Now let's see if we recognize what's going to be said.
Thank you for that. You brought everything you could. I mean, talk about your striking skills. I mean, since the last fight, you showed, just phenomenal Muay Thai. You threw every strike in the book.
Said the last fight.
Tell us about what you've been doing with your striking game. I was just incredibly impressed.
Well, I got to put it all to my coaches. I'm just a lump of clay, and my Muay Thai coach, Jeremy Wires, Mr. Daniel Burke, boxing coach Leonard Trigg, worked on me so much on my hands and on my clinch that, it can't help but go up because I started from nothing. So it's all credit to them.
Tell us about those kicks. Did you see that he was hurt with them? You obviously kept working that. He didn't really check them. You kept going with it. What'd you see out there?
I kept trying to land that hard 10 to the leg.
Oh,
I figured
my
I'd take some of his gas away, and it seemed to work. I should have been kicking him in the calves, I guess, so he couldn't move backwards as fast. But I did the best I could. I had so much great help coming up for this fight.
It's just a constant reference to
running away as quickly.
you know, kick him in the calf, stop him running away.
What's
could
funny is he
slow him
started all
down
that off
like
with no disrespect to Caleb, and then he does nothing but just continues.
Exactly. He's a great guy coming from a great camp. He runs away.
Oh, hey, we just got pulled from you. We just got pulled from YouTube. It says
What?
stream suspended for policy violations.
Who cares?
Violate policy?
That's fuckers.
Well, this is
Damn.
why we have the backups like the Facebook and the After Dark Zone/live. I forgot about it.
It's just the first time I've been watching it and seen it happen. Like,
Wow.
fuckers. Fuck you, man. Fuck you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shady Sean McKenzie, a man so
I
egotistic.
say what I
he has to
want.
watch
I use
himself
what I
talk
want,
about
and you can go get fucked if you don't like it.
Yes.
So yeah,
From the sports lab.
Run
up
to
in
the
Portland,
two-letter,
Oregon.
Brandon,
Guys
cry.
from New Jersey Martial Arts came out. Some black belts in jiu-jitsu. Tim and Marco came out to work with me. It's just been an incredible camp.
Not only did you win this fight, you won over
we
this
go.
crowd. Congratulations, Nate.
Well, when I first came into the camp, when I first came in, I heard some boos, and I know I didn't know how to feel like that. I was kind of like, yo, okay. But then as the fight went on, I figured if you can change, and I can change, anybody can change.
It's all about change.
yes, he threw in a Rocky reference.
He converted the Canadians, bro.
Yeah.
A
He did
whole
what the
nation.
WWE could never do.
Oh.
Know your entertainment value, people.
Exactly.
And it's so funny because every time the camera's on him, you can see him like trying to fight back that big shit-eating grin.
Yeah. it's look at this guy. He's so dejected. He's so sad. He knows he's lost it all. And then to the other guy, I'm getting laid.
Man, I can't believe I gotta let everybody down and they're booing me. Cuts over to the other guy. LOL.
No.
Oh God.
I'm glad I was able to make it this week.
Yeah, it's been quite fun and entertaining. And
Yeah.
there's still more as well. And God, there's a shit ton more. I've barely covered what I prepared. Indeed. Now we've got a choice. We can either go with a leg humper, we can go with an Irishman, or we can go with a huge soundboard.
I mean, the leg humper just, sent my brain spiraling. So,
Indeed.
Yeah, that does kind of
the
stand out.
possibilities there are almost endless.
Oh, they
leg humper sounds good.
All right, then we'll go to leg.
It's like the guy we were watching a minute ago talking about how he goes and like fights at dog parks. I'm just like, I would fucking love to see that.
The dude that was just running backwards, like he's a leg humper. Like he was leg humping back the whole time.
He's fantastic. So, yes, here we go. Funnily enough, we cover leg humper, Quentin Rampage Jackson.
Oh my God.
Known to many as B.A. Baracus from the A-Team movie, known to others as the former Pride middleweight champion and the former UFC light heavyweight champion. Yes.
Ain't flying on no plane.
Also known as B.A. Vessel.
I love it when a plane comes together.
Indeed. Funnily enough, the only reason I remember that is because Dan played the old Peter Geddon intro before we went on air. And I remember Grandpa B.A. Vessel.
Great.
So, yes, let's go.
Never forget you, buddy. Wish you were still here.
So, here we have another MMA legend, Boss Rutan. Looks like he's doing interviews. And he's just fun on a stick, Boss Rutan. He's great. He's done quite a few movies and things, as well as being an absolute beast. So, yes, let's go to Rampage.
Quentin Rampage Jackson. Quentin. Wait a minute. Oh, there you are. You're wearing camo. I couldn't see you. Yeah. Wait.
The first time Rampage caught that, he was like, "Oh." I wasn't knocked out. Does this count? Does that count as this?
Kimbo Slice.
What? No, I just got off the work. Hey, Rashad, last fight. Yeah, Rashad's last fight. He did the stanky leg in the fight.
Rashad Evans was a badass too.
Hey, y'all boys, bad boy.
Let's take a look at that.
Didn't Rashad beat him in that fight?
Rashad did beat Rampage, but still, the shit talking through that entire season of the Ultimate Fight.
Yeah, it was fucking great.
Oh, absolutely.
Kimbo Slice, when everybody found out Kimbo Slice wasn't the fighter that everybody thought he was, because he was in that season and got put up against some real fighters, and it didn't go so well for him.
Yeah, it's about having the well, it was essentially.
Guys, we're back on YouTube.
All right then. Okay. Fuck YouTube. They took us off. They can keep us off. Wankers.
Win, bitch. Fuck you.
Yes. YouTube did 9/11.
11.
Wasn't that the guy from Here Comes the Boom? Which one?
I made a 9/11 reference last night in my interview on the Dr. Quack podcast.
Ah, was it video or audio podcast?
It was video and video.
Ah, right. You're going to have to put the link up. Stick up in ADN.
Yes.
We'd love to see that. So, yes.
Keep losing to Rashad, cock it ass.
Rashad, come on, we gotta go. Get up. Quit playing, Rashad. We gotta get up. Come on.
One of these guys asked, "Do you like dragons? Do you like dragons?"
I like dragon.
Dragon.
Come out with it on YouTube.
Dragon. I just a joke. Dragon.
It ain't no joke, man. You don't like dragons. You don't like dragons. Who don't like dragons?
I just realized what the background music is.
Okay, good. You say. Good. You say you didn't like dragons because I'm gonna be dragging these nuts on your face when we fight again.
And ladies and gentlemen, a meme was born. If you were wondering where that joke came from, it was Rampage Jackson. He was the originator of "Do you like Imagine Dragons? Imagine dragging these nuts across your face."
Rambader. Shibakasora.
Babo, how you say that? Fabio Maldonado. Fabio, my Babo.
You're a heavyweight now? No. Now he is. The light heavyweight.
Oh, you got a Chuck belly.
You got a Chuck. How old is your Chuck? I'm not involved in this.
He's moving like him.
He's just
trying to dance on dance floor. No, you just won. You just won, Chuck.
Okay, Minowa. What do you know about him?
You talking about manure?
Yo, Minowa.
Manure.
Whatever you say, homie.
Yeah. I thought his name was Manure. When they told me I read it said Manure, I thought he was the shit. You know, he's a shit, man. You know, he fight like me. I see him pick motherfuckers up and slam him and shit.
So you mean it good? In a good way, he's a good fighter.
Yeah, his name Manure, he's a shit.
That's what it means. He means the shit. That means it's a good fighter. Picking up people, slamming them down,
I like
Rampage style.
Rampage style. He's the shit. So
He's manure.
Ladies and gentlemen, the former UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Quentin Rampage Jackson.
living it up, man.
Oh God, he's just a silly goose, and that's what's so likable about him.
Is that where the broom got his gimmick?
Shit, he stole it from Rampage Jackson.
He did, didn't he?
Happened again, fuckers.
Exactly. This is awful, though. I mean, if you look at the original broom, he was an African American gentleman, and now all this political correctness, they've just changed his color for the reboot. Oh, I'm gonna get complaints.
Off again.
Real man, my eyes don't do well when they get down later. No, wait, hold on. Until I saw your sister. This is my new best friend. It is on. We're gonna have a nice friendship. She is my pillow. Hey, what's your mama's name, man? It's Esther. Your mama name Esther? Hey, Esther, I love you.
You're rapping me. Hey, man! Out of control.
Yeah, he got both of them that night.
Oh, yeah.
He's growing.
I'm growing.
Growing or glowing?
I'm growing. You tap me out, she win a free t-shirt. You gotta tap me out with a triangle show.
Very, very clever from Quentin. You got to tap me out with a triangle choke. Face and pussy everywhere. Just beautiful.
Yeah, you can do the triangle choke. You know what the triangle choke is on? I'll teach you first. I need a big dick strap. This got a look. This for little kids. I got a humongous dick, and I got big balls. And
Oh, you got a humongous dick.
Excuse me. I need a big one because I got a big dick. I got a big dick. I need real big. I have a. You like big dicks? Big. I have big balls. I need to cover it. And when to cover it, I need too small. I have a big dick. It's not big enough to cover nothing. Can I fit it? Can I try this on? Can I?
She running.
Yes, indeed. I got a big dick, a humongous dick, and big balls.
She understood everything he was saying the whole time. She's like, "No, I'm out."
Yeah, this man will break me in half.
God.
Yes, he'll break me in half, and it won't be through the medium of domestic violence. And you know, I mentioned about the leg humper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh God. God damn, Rampage.
Now you've got a reason to kick us off YouTube, you cunt.
We've been on and off twice tonight.
Yeah, 6 that's back on. Yeah, fuck it. They can try to stop us, but you will fail every time, bitch.
You can't stop us because we've got gigantic dicks and huge balls.
Big balls.
This strap isn't big enough.
It went from like, okay, he's really, really playful to like, no, this dude trying to do something right here.
And there's Mirko Krokop just in the corner playing cards.
I am trying to hustle my gear.
Yeah, just sitting there giggling, and just as one of his teammates is about to go snap.
We're all going to get a knock on the door from Mirko soon. You should not have played that video.
I want to play Texas Hold'em.
Yeah, I was already supposed to be in a couple of movies, but you know, the Ultimate Fighter keep me busy at UFC. Every time a big movie come up, I got to do something for the UFC. Story of my life.
Absolutely. Well, you're very good at it. So, well, I have an idea for a romantic comedy starring you and me. It's about a wrestler who falls in love with a ring girl. What do you think? You in?
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Am I in?
You're in. Let's do it right now. Cut. Okay,
she's like, we're about to go fuck.
Now, if you could get into the octagon with any celebrity, who would it be?
Lucy Liu.
Lucy Liu. All right, there we have it. All right, well, that's all we have with Rampage Jackson for the day. Thank you, Rampage.
You're welcome.
You have to give me all this footage. You do that, right? Thank you so much.
Wow.
The dude that comes over and taps him on the arm is like, fucking hilarious. You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
You should stop that right now.
But it's,
you can beat my ass, but I'm going to try this anyhow.
I'm going to be the supreme gentleman. Nice to see Memageddon making an appearance on today's episode. Absolute beautiful. Just wonderful.
Bollocks.
Yeah, absolute bollocks.
You make my TV go.
He just won't stop something.
No fucking way, man.
Wow.
That's brave right there, man. I'm telling you right now. You ain't gonna see me doing that. I ain't trying to hump no tigers, bro. No.
Can you imagine Rampage Jackson at Mike Tyson's house? Yeah, what the fuck are you doing?
I mean, he hasn't been pretty fucked up to do that.
Like every now and then it just cuts to Rampage Jackson and he's humping something.
Yes, exactly. That's how I like
boing.
That's how I like to remember Rampage Jackson as a man.
That's how I'm gonna end my next promo. Boing, boing, boing.
Just as a man.
Yeah, just as a man. That's the thing. I'm going to have to throw it into an animation somewhere of just Rampage Jackson in the background humping something. Every new promo I do, just in the background. God damn it, Quentin. He's at it again. It's a door frame this time. What are you thinking? Quentin, just how exactly
Not on the furniture.
Yeah, God damn it, Quentin. Just how exactly do you impregnate a tree?
Tiny fucker stuff.
Found a way.
With my gigantic dick and my giant balls.
Can I try this on?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, the original broom, Quentin Rampage, Jackson, before that ugly reboot we all hate. It's like She-Hulk, but real life. So, this has been Dank After Dark. Joining me today has been, well, Dan, because he's a co-host, so he would. There has been wonderful appearances from Shady Sean McKenzie and Scott West. So, Dan,
Yes.
do you have anything else to add before we end the show?
I want to see more of I forgot his name, the first guy.
Chael Sonnen.
That's the guy.
Well, how would you like to do this again next week?
I would very much like that. I would very much like that.
More Chael Sonnen. I'll even see if we can find a few fight clips of ridiculous knockouts and such.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So this has been Dank After Dark. We'll be back again next Thursday, hopefully, if I don't have a disabled head. And how do you want to end this? All right, then.
Fuck off.
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here.
Bye.
And from me, I just